Hi. So I get that my fucking lenses reflect the light and I'm not gonna be able to help that, and I could give a shit. I could give a shit about a lot of things. Here, how about until I can't see anymore, I will not wear them. My name is Tolg. I cuss. I started this channel out of desperation. Mostly, yeah, that's it. I haven't worked up this really neat introduction. Don't know if I ever will. Don't know what I intend to do for the future. C'est la vie, c'est la guerre. I've been reading from Marguerite Porret, The Mirror of Simple Souls, and possibly I'll get back to that. My camera broke, so today I'm using the camera on the laptop, and I'm not sure how much anybody should care about that. It is still better than the cameras that were offered in 2010, and you can see me, so huzzah. So I have a blog, and I'm taking shots in the dark at what's going to start anything, what gets more views. I don't know. I figured I'd read from it. So this one, and yeah, I'm reading straight from it. I don't have a good memory, and it'd be weird if I remembered every single blog post I made, given I started that in 2011. I guess along with this YouTube channel. So this is called A Stranger. I met a man in what's called the Old Market. He was what I would describe as docile, very gentle, anywhere from 30s to 40s, anyone's guess, really. Incredibly shy. And he was there busking, performing for money from anybody who would walk by, but in doing so, he wasn't loud. So he wasn't getting a lot of attention. I figured I'd sit down, just enjoy the little that I could hear. And eventually I kept coming back because he was endearing. He was very sweet, and it was just a nice time. So I wrote this in 2020 in memory of it. His name was Jack. He isn't that Jack that many know, unless you're not in my immediate acquaintances. Not the Jack who spits fire. He's the meek Jack, the one who wore a cross around his neck about as big as my palm. He sang no louder than a shy child begging complacently for something their heart desperately cannot do without and expecting admonishment for it. He was beautiful. When he smiled, his face cracked. He smiled for knowing he was wanted, and his singing and guitar playing were beautiful. He said he'd serenade me, but with the saxophone and competing trumpet or cello on two other corners, I couldn't hear him, just made out the words barely by some comprehension of sound mixed with the reading of lips. When I begged him to sing louder, that others would want to hear him, he sheepishly grinned and stated plainly that he never thought someone would want to. He loved hearing how beautiful he was. I had to stop going. My life became deranged, and I let go of all that made me happy so that I wouldn't make those pieces of life's puzzle sad, like me. I regret it. I regret not putting on a face for him, not trying harder to be happier, even if it was a facade, for him. He wasn't anything romantic for me. I admit there were too many years between us for me to be able to relate to him, and I'm sure he had experiences he couldn't have put into words for my then innocent ears so close to being broken on the world that was ready to tear me apart. Maybe if I had stayed for him, I could have learned of things softly rather than fall from others' stories and land into my own eventually. Maybe if I had stayed, I'd be able to see his smile and convince myself that he is doing all right. I wouldn't be worried that he's gone from the soft grass, from the gentle winds, from the sun rising, from the birds cheerily chirping under the awnings in the Old Market. I'd be able to think that these things still waited for him to be praised like I felt he so deserved. Maybe he'd still be playing down there. He's been gone from there every time I go to visit. I've been chased out of most public areas in this town anymore, so I can't stay for long, admittedly. But he had tried to be there every day, and now I never even catch a glimpse of his beautiful playing, and that hat he wore, with a southern-styled cross accenting his chest that deserved more pride than most people wore. I tried to access his energy, if that can be believed, to soothe my worry. It didn't help. But what I did find of him was more beautiful than I've come by so far. So many colors. I can't yet understand if that is simply how my conscious mind perceived him, or if that is truly how he appears. But like jazz and a bird of paradise made a man. Blues and purples and oranges flew in the wind and vapors around him, and he rose taller than he ever aimed to when I knew him. Maybe that's simply what I wanted him to know himself as.